Yes.
And it's not even a flip of a switch.
Oh,
it's
no.
it's not like a light switch that goes on and off. It's like the light knobs where you crank the light down, the dimmer switch.
Oh, yeah.
That is what.
Oh, yeah. He slides in and out of that.
So good.
He is fantastic.
I'm so excited to see more of him. Welcome back to Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches. I'm Noah, the guy who purposefully bought the large drink just so he could refill it after we got out of the movie, so I'd at least have something to do while we talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Ouch.
That gives you an idea of where this video's going. Well, we're in for a trip.
I'm Richard, and I just came back from the same movie, and decaf is good for me.
There you go. No, I'm dealing with off-brand Mountain Dew tonight, so
gotcha.
Should be a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
I take it you weren't particularly enthused about the movie?
I tried to retire from the MCU, and I keep having to. I'm like, it's like being the grizzled old war vet in the movie, all right? Who, he retired 25 years ago, but we still need him. That's how I feel. I'm that guy. I'm the Rambo, the Schwarzenegger in the 15th role this year. And that's how I feel when it comes to the MCU at this point.
Gotcha.
Because
you've been watching them since we saw Iron Man in
2007 or 8?
2008, something like that.
I was 13 when Iron Man came out. I'm 26 now. And it's been a lot. I peaked with Endgame. I was satisfied. I was content. But, we're doing movie talks on the internet.
Why do you keep going back?
Because we are doing movie talks on the internet. That's why I feel like the grizzled veteran. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Is it the next proper step in the right direction for the MCU? Kind of. Is kind of the MCU getting back to what it originally was. As Phase 4 was so weird because it was 90% TV shows and like 3 movies. And, you had some hits with WandaVision was doing really well. Falcon and the Winter Soldier we enjoyed. Moon Knight was fantastic. And then you offset it with She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel and the Eternals. And it just didn't seem like they knew where they were going.
We never see the Eternals again.
It'll be too soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, it felt like they were kind of getting back to it.
Well, I'll tell you, I had just, my mind went in 1,000 different directions on this, and
so did the screen at the movie theater.
You know what I missed in this movie? And so let me talk about what I liked about this movie first before I go
Actually, let's give a recap real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Spoiler discussion, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp revolves around Ant-Man, the Wasp, the old Ant-Man, the old Wasp, and then the next Ant-Man or Ant-Woman and his daughter, Cassie Lang, all going back to the quantum realm for like the 3rd time in this series. And they face off against Kang the Conqueror, one of the most legendary villains in all of Marvel Comics. And they basically have to free the quantum realm from his control. Janet Van Dyne is Hank Pym's wife. Yes. And yes, do I have this right?
Yes, you have that right.
Yes, I do. Okay, she's Jeez, the movie everywhere. My ADD brain couldn't keep up. She has run into Kang before. She was actually in the quantum realm when he arrived. She originally was going to help him escape, then realized what a bad dude he was, and then prevented his escape. And eventually they saved her, and she's been trying to not talk about it and try to pretend like it doesn't exist, sweep it under the rug. But now she's face to face with this situation, and they all have to work together to defeat Kang the Conqueror and escape back to the normal world.
This might be the first time in 26 episodes of this show that we have ever actually given
a full recap.
A full movie recap. We generally just sit down and talk.
Yep.
And one of the reasons why we don't, and this is directed, this goes directly to a critic, of one of our last videos, who told us that we are horrible movie reviewers. We're not movie reviewers. These are just our kitchen table discussions. This is what we talk about. Now we just do it in front of a camera and put it on YouTube instead of doing it up at the kitchen table.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, that's it.
Exactly.
So if you tune into any of our episodes and you hear us talking about stuff, we almost never take the time to do what Noah just did. So
Yep. But, I mean, this is also a brand new movie that we're talking literally right after we went and saw it.
Yeah, we just came back from this.
For those who either are looking to go see it or just need the recap.
After the train wreck that was Ragnarok and the following Thor movie, which I haven't seen and I won't, and some of the other Marvel missteps, the thing that I think I liked the most about this movie is that Marvel regained the perfect balance of action, drama, and comedy to lighten the mood.
And that's, yep.
And they really did. They regained what they had in Marvel, what is it, level 1, level 2, what do you call those things?
Phases, but yes.
Phase 1, phase 2. Because they used to do this very, very well, and it used to be like clockwork, and, you could just count on all of this.
Used to be just a machine.
Yep, and it was actually fun to see that. Jonathan Majors' performance as Kang,
it's fantastic.
It's fantastic. That man has more talent than Marvel knows what to do with.
No, they know what to do with him.
He is incredible.
Yeah,
and
absolutely fantastic.
We saw him in Loki, and the interesting thing in this movie was we're watching this movie in theater, and one of the things that I'm sitting there thinking of is, where's Loki in all of this? And of course, we get an answer to that.
Yep.
And I'm not going to say any more than that, other than I was wondering all through the movie where Loki is, and then we got the answer to that, and it was really wonderful to see, because it was wonderful to see Loki on the big screen
again, finally,
not on the small screen.
And it's nice to see the interconnective tissue of the MCU, because back in way back when Iron Man 2 ended and you saw Thor's hammer and you saw Captain America's like half shield in Iron Man 2, and they were setting up the Avengers, and like people could piece it together. The last few times they've been trying to piece it together, like Shang-Chi's post-credits scene, we have no idea what the heck was going on in that post-credits scene where they had Marvel and Bruce Banner and Wong all talking about we have no idea what's coming. Not even diehard comic book fans know what's going on. Really, but we have theories. But now we are starting to see them connect everything back together after a phase 4 that has just been every single which direction.
I sat there watching this movie and thinking, innocence is bliss. Now, it's not a good thing when my mind can wander this much in a movie. It means it means that the movie's not holding my attention, and I miss credits with lines filmed on location at. Now, clearly, you can't film on location at the Quantum level. I get it. But you see Ant-Man and Wasp run through whatever part of the quantum realm they're at, and in my mind, I see two people in costume running in front of green screens and green pads, and and I see, and it's a very dark film, in that the lighting is very dark, and I'm thinking, I bet you that was 2:00 in the afternoon on a set in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, that's where my mind was wandering, and I part of me wishes that I've never seen a behind the scenes how this was made. Yeah, because I have a very difficult time buying into all of these fantastical realms. I had the same problem with the last Doctor Strange movie that I saw.
Yeah.
I mean,
this felt a lot like the Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, most
it felt
definitely.
Very much like the Doctor Strange.
And I was thinking,
Multiverse of Madness.
Of all things, I was thinking about Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which clearly wasn't the Last Crusade, because 5 is about to come out.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones and
Subscribe if you want us to review that one.
Wheelchair of Death.
Or not review.
That's what we do. but they do Hollywood used to have incredible artists who would build these fantastic sets on a soundstage. So in Raiders of the Lost Ark, when you see the giant statue rocking back and forth, and Indy rides it through the wall, they actually built a giant statue and rode it through the wall, and the stuntman had one take to get it right. Yep. When you see them, and I was going to look this up before we started, but when you see them get outside the cave, where they go in to meet the Knight of the Knights Templar, and the Holy Grail is there. They're in Jordan, I believe, and they're in that windy valley, and it's got that fantastic building carved into the wall, and so they film outside of that, and then all the interior shots are on a soundstage. I miss that. I miss the artistry. I miss the reality of all of that.
I do too, because this film is so in your face with the CGI, and it's not bad CGI. It's just
CGI's
it's everything we've seen before. We see this in like Guardians of the Galaxy. We've seen this in the Thor Ragnarok, and then Thor Love and Thunder. Like, this is nothing new. It just looks different. It's just a different shade of CGI, and it's so in your face because of that.
In an interview with Alan Richards right after the first or the second Harry Potter movie came out, he made the point of talking about the set designers and everybody who built the set and the realism of the set, and he said, you're talking about all of these things, but you're completely overlooking a whole part of the industry that were craftsmen that built all of this stuff, and the seamstresses who made all the costumes, and now you get CGI capes and CGI headgear for Spider-Man, I don't think this is good for Hollywood and storytelling that we are going this deep into CGI. Clearly, if we're going to tell these stories, we're going to have to. Yeah, right.
There's a level of CGI that will be needed.
Yeah, but I just sat there in the movie thinking, wow, I really miss.
I miss the practical.
Yeah.
I miss the practical stuff. If you noticed, there was like 3 lines of like stunt credit. I saw it because I looked to see who's working on what. There's like 3 lines of stunt credits, and then there's like a 5-paragraph essay of VFX artists.
Oh yeah.
It just goes to show you. But the story.
The CGI stunt actors, they don't get hurt much.
No, they really don't.
You get 1 or 2 people, and
I hear they're pretty good at one takes. But the story. And this is where CGI aside, everything else aside, I'm watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and I'm seeing the Quantumania. I'm not really seeing much of the Ant-Man, and I really am not seeing much of the Wasp. Like, they felt so disconnected from their own film. Like, aside from the opening sequence where he's monologuing and reading his book, like, there was really not that much Ant-Man in this Ant-Man movie. And I get that you have to set up Kang, but this was really more Janet's story than it was a Ant-Man and Hope story.
Okay. I'll buy that. There's still the,
and like I like Michelle Pfeiffer. She's decent. She's fun to watch. But man, this it didn't feel like an Ant-Man and the Wasp story. Now it's not bad. I want to stress that it's not bad. It brings you back to the early MCU. There's plenty of quips. A lot of them hit really well. Theater's laughing.
The only joke that really didn't hit, and I was really disappointed in this. You've got this whole build up to how smart the ants have become, and how the ants in a day have learned 1,000 years worth of technology. And Hank Pym brings the ants in at the end of the movie, and you're kind of waiting for them because they set it up.
Yep.
Right? They showed you the gun has to be used, right? Yep. They showed you the ants have to come in, so you sit and you wait, where the ants come, and then they get to this pivotal moment where the ants are going to do their thing, and they don't.
Yep.
And that's seriously disappointing.
Yep.
And then the other thing is you have this we meet MODOK. And I remember seeing MODOK in comic books, and I remember as a kid being completely uninterested in MODOK at all, or whenever I saw him. I don't even know what year he came out. But I mean, a head in a spacesuit. Really, how dangerous could he be? That's
well, and that's the thing in the comics. He kind of is, and it's almost a completely different character.
I wondered about that, but here we go. Spoiler. A character that was a recurring character in comics gets killed off in one movie. He gets introduced and killed off in one movie, which is always a mistake because then you have to have
especially when it's a villain,
right?
Especially when it's a villain.
Son of MODOK come and but you bring back this character from the very first movie,
and I thought that was a great use of that character.
I do. It
was a great use of bringing the actor back.
It was a great surprise.
It was,
and it was a palate
for anyone
cleanser.
who didn't watch the trailers, because I saw them in the trailers.
Oh yeah, I tried hard not to watch the trailers.
Yeah,
but
that's smart.
I mean, why would you do that spoiler in the trailers? However, so here we have this guy who's a total and complete jerk, and the daughter, and what the heck is her name?
Cassie Lane.
All right, Cassie finally defeats him in a fight. He's laying there. He's beaten. He's on the ground, and she says, and here's the humor that didn't work: "Stop being a dick." That's her line. That's her advice to him. And suddenly he has a complete change of heart.
Change of character.
It's like, oh wait,
it's completely different.
That's what I've been doing wrong all this time? I've been by golly, I'll just stop being one of those. And he rushes in and makes the critical game-changing move that the ants should have had. We've only been following the development of the ants for three movies
now.
And when they get to put the exclamation point on their development, they give it to this guy whose dying words were, "Well, at least I'm not. When I die, I'm not a dick." It was laughably bad.
It was really, and it's upsetting because here's the thing: the rest of the humor
was great.
It was great. A lot of it. Yeah. And here's another thing, and this is actually an improvement. And I want to give the movie credit because I didn't hate the movie. I'm just like, there's so many things that irked me when Kang is on screen. They treated him like a villain to be taken seriously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And which they should have, because Kang, he even says it. He mentions, "You're not the one with the hammer, right? Have I killed you before?"
I know.
This man has killed Thor.
I know.
That's not someone you take lightly. So and as far as I know, besides the MODOK thing, there was only one quip actually made around Kang. Like you get quips against Thanos a couple of times. You get quips against like every major villain, not Kang. There was one. And it wasn't even really a quip at him. It was Scott being Scott going, yeah, Thor, it's a common mistake, similar build, which was a good line. It was a fun one, but that's like that is the only real joke they made in Kang's presence, and I loved that they took Kang seriously in this film.
Kang is Jonathan Majors' performance. He's silky smooth.
He is.
He
transitions between like super charismatic to complete villain.
Yes.
And it's not even a flip of a switch.
Oh,
it's
no.
it's like the it's not like a light switch that goes on and off. It's like the light knobs where you crank the light
switch,
down, the
right.
dimmer switch.
Oh yeah.
That is what.
Oh yeah. He slides in and out of that.
So good.
He is fantastic.
I'm so excited to see more of him because oh my gosh,
right.
this is a worthy replacement for Thanos in the grand scheme of things.
Most definitely.
Oh my gosh.
Most definitely. And I have to agree with you on that point. And it really was fun to watch him. I didn't quite understand what happened to him in the end.
They did a thing.
And he got sucked into a thing.
Pym particles.
Right.
Pym particles. Oh, well.
So now
there's
he's what?
a million more of him.
Even smaller in another level where he can take over?
Potential, yeah.
Yeah, when he gets out of that, he going to be mad. He's going to be really mad. But,
yeah.
You know,
Oh, man.
I'll tell you one good thing about this movie.
Yeah.
I have started and stopped Ant-Man 2 8 times. I can't get deeper than 30 minutes into that movie. It's painful. It's absolutely painful. And it's just, and I probably will never see it. What I'm glad, I did see the end of that one because I knew that Janet came back. But I'm glad that not having seen that whole movie didn't make it harder to understand this one.
Yeah.
Watching this is a standalone story.
Yep.
And that is good. That was fun to see.
Yep. You know what I also like? Okay, as much as I miss young Cassie, because she was the best part of the first two Ant-Man films, like she just was, and that actress was hilarious in the role. Catherine Newton is the new Cassie, the grown-up Cassie.
She was good.
Good.
She was very
good.
Yeah.
And it was refreshing to see her have to go through a learning arc. Like we've seen it a lot, like in the Hawkeye series. As much as I liked the Hawkeye series, Kate Bishop was very capable, and she still had room to grow and learn, but she caught on very quickly.
Right.
Cassie was having a lot of trouble in this movie. And then she had her moment where she starts to listen to her dad, and you know, not that she was ever not going to. She wasn't like she wasn't rebellious towards her dad. Like,
right,
screw you, Dad. I'm not going to do as you tell me to do. I'm not going to listen to you. She was trying to listen to her dad's advice and learn from him because she's always wanted to be like him.
Yeah, well, you know what? The scene where they're both in
jail.
opposing prison cells.
Opposing prison
she's
cells.
like, my third time. He's like, my fourth. If you're going to share something with your dad, prison time might as well be it.
There you go. But no, they gave her room to grow and learn, which was really nice to see because it would have been so easy with how they slipped everything under the rug, like oh, she's got an Ant-Man suit, oh, she's been using the Pym particles, oh, they've been teaching her in secret to just have her be this already fully developed superhero.
She wasn't a Mary Jane. Your big complaint about a lot of
exactly.
Yeah, right,
she had to learn and grow, and she was fun. She was really good, and I'm excited to see the Young Avengers in the future because we're getting that with like Kate Bishop and now Cassie Lang and Miss Marvel, and we're gonna start to see more of that.
There's a lesson that these people don't seem to be. Clearly, they don't study their history. They don't seem to be getting. Tony Stark and Banner messed up. And produced Ultron.
Yeah.
And look at all the trouble that caused. And here she is messing with the quantum realm, and she creates a device that allows contact to be made.
I'm actually gonna
it's like hey, scientists, when are you gonna stop messing with this stuff?
I'm gonna actually play devil's advocate for that one because the past two movies, I made that joke in the beginning. This is like the third time they've been to the quantum realm, and nothing has happened so far. How are they supposed to know that? Because they've gone several times. It was literally. from a meta perspective, Loki explains why it's a threat now. Obviously, if you watch Loki, but the characters don't know that. They've been to the quantum realm like multiple times. They used it to time travel and save the world. Like
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, that's a fair.
I get that.
That's fair.
I get why they're doing it. I also think it's kind of dumb.
Oh, but
I think it was especially dumb because you have Janet being like, "Oh, we can't go there. Oh, we can't go there." But in the end credits scene, or the very end of Ant-Man 2, they send him back to the quantum realm, and that's why he's trapped there, and they all get dusted. Where was her objections then?
Good point.
I don't know. Maybe
she was just so happy to be home.
Yeah, maybe the multiverse merging at the end of, or the multiverse branches at the end of Loki are like hadn't taken place yet. So it's like time travel shenanigans, but with multiverse now. So.
You know, the graphics for the branches of time in Loki.
I like the.
I mean, they had their whole artistic style to that show, but those branches shown in the movie so much nicer to look at. They visually were just stunning. You know. Hey, you know, give the CGI people, you know, credit where credit is due.
Good at their job.
It's gorgeous artwork.
I wanna shout out my my actual probably favorite part of the movie. William Jackson Harper playing a character named Quaz. Reading Lang's mind.
Oh, he was hysterical. That was a riot.
I loved that entire sequence.
Yep.
Janet living through every child's cringe experience of having... Hope living through every child's cringeous experience of listening to Janet and Hank flirt while also talking about their conquests.
Talking about their affairs. And you know the thing the thing that's so funny about that, I think, you know, from my perspective, she's like, I was down there 30 years, I had needs. He's like, I was up here 30 years. Yeah, I had a couple. And then neither one of them are bothered by it. Right.
Yeah.
And then she says, you know, what ended up happening, and he says the line that every guy needs to remember. He said, she wasn't you. like I'm sitting there thinking, good save, Hank. While Hope is cringing while her parents talk about this. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
From the parental perspective, I will tell you, your mother and
I don't want it.
take great delight in making you and your brother squirm.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. While I think this movie literally could have been done with any character, is serviceable. It has some really fun moments. It does overdo the CGI, but it has officially set up Kang as the next big bad of the MCU. And I think that's what I'm actually excited for.
That's right.
I'm going to go hide back in my retirement hole until, you know, my country calls upon me again to
go watch another Marvel
movie.
Well, you know, today the article came out. Kevin Feige said that they're going to make fewer of the TV shows.
They're going to slow down the release schedule of the TV shows. Thank goodness he wants to get back to I think what he quoted was the period of excitement and hype between movie releases.
Gotcha.
Because they were doing like 2 a year.
Right.
And there was a lot of build-up. Like, you had to go see the next movie to be like, okay, what's coming next?
Right.
What's coming next? You know, people paying $10 a movie ticket to go see a 30-second end credits scene.
Well, you know what? Don't miss the end credits scenes.
Don't.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. You could see worse movies. I would say go see it if you enjoy this stuff.
If you want to keep up with the MCU and the path that it is going down, it is probably going to be a must-watch.
Yep.
But yeah, it's harmless. It's got fun moments. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
go watch it if you want to. It's
Let us know what you think about the movie. Share your thoughts in the comments below. As always, be kind, and remember, we're not movie reviewers.
Yeah, even though it sounds like it.
Thanks for tuning in.
And we'll see you next time.
Yes.
Ah.
I had written that whole thing down here about the affair. That was hysterical.
It was the best part. It was like it was so funny because it was so natural. It's like, Janet's like, no. Or hope.
Oh,
Gosh,
Pope.
dang it. I keep getting it wrong. Jeez.
That's okay.